Yes! Welcome back to Classic Game Room, the podcast celebrating CGR Fridays. That's right. You know, it's a thing. I kind of enjoy CGR Fridays. In fact, I really enjoy CGR. Let's set the record straight. I totally dig CGR Fridays. But it doesn't have to be video games. Truth be told, I haven't played a video game in like 4 months. So, Classic Game Room, the podcast, is really more about the experience of bringing the world back to the 1970s. We're going to predate 80s here. You know, the 80s were pretty awesome, but like when I really think about CGR Fridays and put this in perspective, what I'm actually thinking of is like any scene out of Logan's Run. Like that's just basically what I want life to be. You know, if you're going to have a dystopian shitpocalypse, it should be Logan's Run. Or any scene out of Mannix. Like, cigarette smoking should be mandatory. I don't even smoke, but like, I just kind of like the idea of smoking. Like, smoking looked cool, right? Like, vaping is stupid. I don't understand why anyone's vaping. I mean, really, if you want to just get high, just go smoke something different. But like, cigarettes were just cool. Like, I've smoked cigarettes before, and like, they actually totally suck. Because you can't breathe. At least I could never smoke cigarettes. I thought they looked cool. It's like, yeah, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. Like, it's the 90s. Everybody smoked cigarettes in the 90s, you know, especially if you're drinking. So basically, everybody smoked cigarettes in the 90s. And, like, I couldn't breathe afterwards. Like, oh, this is great. I'm getting a wicked buzz. And then I'm, like, coughing and spitting shit up everywhere. But, like, they just looked cool. For, like, those 5 or 6 minutes that I wasn't coughing and probably hacking on somebody, I looked cool. Like, how'd people in the 70s do this? You know how they did it? They were just more badass. Like, we suck now. I couldn't go out and smoke cigarettes now. Like, hey, what's up? But that's the vibe you're getting from CGR Fridays. All the fun of smoking without any of the hacking and the coughing and the lung cancer and the dying. At least not today. Today you got to enjoy CGR Fridays. It's like that scene out of the new Top Gun, you know. The Pentagon's going to shut us down. Yeah, but not today. Today, Tom Cruise is still going to fly fighter jets and blow things up. What does this have to do with CGR Fridays? Everything. Because now, Kenny Loggins is in your head. Zone of Danger, CGR Fridays. Hey, I know you're feeling the vibe right now because I'm having fun. You know why I'm having fun? First of all, it's Friday, and I decided to just not do any work today. I work like 12 hours a day. You only know me from like the weird stuff I do, but like most of the time it's like real work, and there's people walking. Why? Nobody respects my recording. There's like kids or something. Whose kids are these? Oh yeah, they're mine. I'm trying to remember how kids happened. Like, surely that's not something I planned for. Like, they're expensive and like they require a lot of work. And eventually, then they get bigger, and then they start like swearing and doing all the same mistakes, making all the same mistakes that I used to make. Why are you smoking and watching Thundercats? Oh wait, no, that was me. Hang on, like yesterday. So every week from now until the end of time, I can do these things because. Well, I just can't. Every week from now until the end of time, CGR Fridays is on the website. That's right. Bringing it 1996, 97 style. A website that's not owned by a crappy multi-billion-dollar garbage company trying to tear down civilization. Just my own website where we sell things like books and T-shirts with half-naked robots on them and stuff. It's pretty awesome. Like a fully naked robot is weird, but like half-naked, that leaves some room for imagination. Speaking of imagination, CGR Fridays is like weekly shows. I'm kicking it off, the first one with 80s comics, really one of my favorite series. I love 80s comics. Weekly 80s comics. Maybe 2 or 3 of them. I mean, they're just... I read a lot of comic books, and like I'm totally stuck in the 70s right now. Like, so, what a shock. 80s comics can go like, you know, any direction, you know, 70s, 90s, modern comics. It's like comics are fun. I like comic books. There might even be a classic game room in there with some pinball in the near future. Might be playing some pinball later today in like an hour. Deadpool's a great pinball machine. That's actually one of the best ones now. Got to bring the GoPro, mount it, and actually I know the guy that owns the pinball machine, so can coordinate with him. Doug, if you're listening, could take the glass off, do some close-up shots. Pinball reviews are awesome. So there are more planned, like indirectly planned when I get around to it. They take a lot of time to make, but Fridays. So what's going on in the world of Classic Game Room? We're launching like a whole new series of things. I say things because it's broad and nebulous. That's a fun word. Nebulous. I like to just throw that word around even when I'm not using it correctly. Double nebulous on you, dumbass. Anyway, so we also got some complaints and hate mail last week from someone who said that a couple people actually said the podcast was boring and not exciting enough for them. Well, how about this? Fuck off. There you go. Now it's a party.
Checkpoint.
Oh my God, Mark has lost his mind! No, this is actually just more normal than usual. So head on over to cgrpublishing.com and you can even subscribe to the newsletter. That's the thing. Subscribe to the newsletter. That way we can mail bomb you every week with stuff like, hey, there's a comic book about a bunch of half-naked robots. They're not fully naked. Half-naked robots with lasers. Disco. So the new Omega Ronin's coming out, the comic book and an album. Finally releasing vinyl. Very excited about that. Not sure what color it's going to be yet, though. The vinyl. There's so many options. And that's one of the best things about records is it's like streaming music is disposable. So for the most, I think it's cool for discovery. It's good. It's cool that you can go on to one of these streaming services and find a lot of non-mainstream music, in between all of the stuff that you've heard of is bazillion songs that you've never heard of, and it's free to find them for the most part. And then if you really like it, you can go and for most of them, people who are able to put out the albums, buy a vinyl, and then it's this collector's item. So not only does it actually sound better, but also it's cool. And that's really what I'm in for. It's the cool experience of just having a vinyl. So the next Omega Ronin album's coming out in vinyl. And I might go back and do some of the other ones, Syntax Rhythm and Skywarp are both on my radar for possible. Let's just get them out there for limited run vinyl releases. That's all a maybe right now. So I'm looking at this stuff. Anyway, so I've been working for the past month on Omega Ronin, storyboarding, writing it, drawing it right now. And out of this is coming a system, and I'm working with some people on this. So it's a team. And after Omega Ronin, we're actually going to wrap up Ethel the Cyborg Ninja 3. And put together a hardcover trilogy for those of you, for the Edit Station 1 and Jesus fans out there. So it does not disappoint. Cosmic Death Brick also plays a prominent role. Ethel the Cyborg Ninja 3, and after that, we are launching a whole bunch. There's a couple series coming out that I'm going to be spearheading, writing, and then kind of producing. We're going to be going into fantasy work, 70s fantasy, swords and sorcerers, swords and sorcery, dragons, and maybe some dungeons and chainsaws, lasers. Basically, the warlord. I don't think there's enough warlord kind of stuff out there these days. So we're channeling a lot of inspiration from the warlord. And if you're listening this far into the podcast, odds are if I didn't piss you off by telling you to fuck off earlier, you know what the warlord is and Shogun warriors. So if you combine those two things, warlord mixed with Shogun warriors, but even more lasers and chainsaws and half-naked robots, that's basically what we're going to be doing for late 24, early 25, because the future sucks and it just needs more of those things. And I think there's a market for that. So we're doing it. We're going to be doing that. And CGR Fridays are here to introduce you to this ridiculous world of fantasy swords and sorcerers and half-naked robots and laser beams and disco and hair metal and El Caminos. If you like those things, you're going to love it. If you don't like those things, well, there's influencers dancing right now that you could be. Why are you listening to this? They're doing a dance that's new, and maybe going viral. You could be missing out. You should have fear of that. And hey, I'll give you a preview of CGR Fridays, even though you could just go and watch the whole thing right now. Here's the newest '80s comics, just so you know where I'm at mentally. Here's the newest '80s comics without the video. I'll play it for you on 8-track. If you want to see the video, well, I highly recommend it because it's Red Sonja #2, the first series, Marvel Feature Presents. There's ads in there for Slim Jims and Big Jim's P.A.C.K. Professional assholes. Wait, no, what's it stand for? Professional agents, crime killers. Big Jim's P.A.C.K. from Mattel, 1970s. We got Warpath, trademark. Dr. Steel, trademark. The Whip, trademark. How are you going to get a trademark on the Whip? I think someone's going to fight you on that one. And Big Jim, registered trademark. Ooh. The year is 1975. Jaws is the biggest movie on the planet, and before people were busy watching influencers and reality television, they were smoking Marlboro Reds while listening to Led Zeppelin in the back of an El Camino. Let's take a trip back to those days of glory with Red Sonja, one of the first issues of Red Sonja in the Marvel Feature Presents series. This is January 1976. Number 2 will set you back a quarter in 1976 dollars. Not that you're going to have any quarters left after playing pinball and smoking Marlboros. You won't be able to breathe, but at least you'll be able to read Red Sonja, Blood of the Hunter, until your lungs give out. But that would still be better than watching influencers. Back when everything didn't suck, Red Sonja was there to save the day, drinking flagons of mead, wenching when Conan was too drunk to do the job, and wearing hardly anything because it's hot outside. And Red Sonja needs to stay comfortable, to slaughter brigands and other near-do-gooders with a sword, with a bad attitude. Frank Thorne, my man, drew this comic book. And when Red Sonja wasn't pervy and weird enough, Frank went off and drew porn. But before that, we are blessed with some of the best comic books on the face of the earth. CGR Fridays is bringing it with Big Jim's P.A.C.K. Professional Agents, Crime Killers. My deadly steel hand will make sure the last thing they see is my dragon tattoo. The last thing that you see should be Red Sonja, curb stomping you with high-heeled boots. Oh my god, this is the best show ever recorded, literally. This is so much better than everything else. I mean, I'm biased, but whatever. I'm also wearing Amber Vision. So what's going on in this issue? Well, after kicking some douchebag's ass, she steals this key around his neck. Like, she should know better. This thing is probably cursed. And it is cursed. Hasn't Red Sonja Red Gru? Like, this is not gonna go well for you. Everyone around her gets killed, and she ends up, she seduces somebody's, teenage boy. So Frank Thorne is on the job. Also, there's a lot of great advertisements in here teaching me that I could become not just a locksmith, but also a paperboy. I can earn $1 a day. This entire issue, in fact the entire series, is basically just an excuse for Frank to draw an almost naked girl killing people with a sword, but that's what makes it so good. Conan just stumbles through life drunk, killing people. Red Sonja is just a little bit smarter and moderately more sober. If she's good enough for Spider-Man and Evel Knievel, Red Sonja is good enough for you. This whole issue is great. She's just cursed and rolling around in a bikini. And at the end, she stabs somebody. And there's ads that promise they'll teach you music and weightlifting. So you should cut those out and mail them in. Maybe you'll even get a t-shirt with Fraggle Rock or something. That probably wasn't invented yet. Hang on, what's in here? This is 75, so we got to take it way back. Like the iron-on T-shirts were like the thing back then. Those are great. They don't have those anymore. I'm flipping through. I want to see what the ads are here. Ooh, we can build a model kit. Slim Jims. It's not as good as a cigarette. Be taller. Stand 2 to 6 inches taller in all caps. In a few weeks, all ages, no gimmicks. I'm thinking there might have been a few gimmicks. You know who doesn't need to be taller? Red Sonja! Not really sure what her height is, but she looks just fine the way she is. Thanks, Frank. Yes! CGR Fridays! Hey, subscribe to the CGR Publishing newsletter because how else can we sell you things like hats and t-shirts with iron-ons and like mushrooms and chicks with swords. God damn it, I did it again. So offensive. I'm the worst. Beer. There it is. Did you enjoy it? That's a preview of what you can expect every Friday for the rest of your life. Unless you outlive me. Which, given the cigarettes and the beer drinking from the 90s, is probable. Let's see here. Really should clip this ad out. The secret of teaching yourself music. Is it to look like John Denver, but to suck even more? I think that might be the secret. Why did anybody like John Denver? Like 70s music and like 1980, 81 music, like that, the non-disco, non-Led Zeppelin, non-Van Halen, non-New Wave stuff all sucks. I hate that kind of 70s folksy singing about feelings and trees or whatever. It's like, I can't stand that crap. I hate it. I hate it. Disco made the 70s better. Disco makes everything better. Disco's great. I love disco. Like, would you rather listen to John Denver or KC and the Sunshine Band? I mean, if you have to even think about that, you suck. You don't deserve the 70s. CGR Fridays is bringing back the 70s. That's right. We're going to save the future. And boy, does it need saving today. We're going to save the future with the 70s, with cigarette smoke, neon lights, like the crappy neon, like the indoor neon lights when everything was green. So it was like a combination of cigarette smoke and neon lights. It's a great look. Kind of miss that look. Back when you used to be able to smoke on planes, used to be able to smoke in the hospital, used to be able to smoke like when you're filling up your gas tank. Again, it's not the actual joy of smoking cigarettes, which does actually kind of suck. It's more the vibe of smoking cigarettes. I don't know. I've never vaped in my life and it looks terrible, but like, I'm not sure that has the same vibe. Like, smoking was just cool. You know who smokes? Big Jim's P.A.C.K. Got this red Sony. I gotta flip through the red Sony here. Ooh, Spider-Man probably smokes too in the 70s. Gotta save children with a wicked buzz. Let's see here. Spider-Man wants you to smoke Marlboro Reds. The secret of teaching yourself music is to wear corduroy pants and suck. Big Jim's P.A.C.K. Big Jim searched the world for a crack team of specialists to protect freedom. We need Big Jim's P.A.C.K. now in real life. Freedom and fight crime. And he found 3 tough, menacing men of action to form Big Jim's P.A.C.K. How is this not nearly as popular as like Transformers? I mean, Transformers are pretty cool, but like, I don't know. I'm thinking Big Jim's P.A.C.K. could kick the crap out of Megatron, you know. But this one guy fires bow and arrow. I mean, what's Megatron do? He loses. Megatron sucks. My stunner arrows will give him a few tips they won't forget. Warpath. His catchphrase should just be just the tip. You're welcome. Gee, Big Jim says, P.A.C.K. members, I can't promise anyone will come out of this mission alive. All right, I feel like I need to write Mattel a letter and see if I can't get the rights to make a comic book about this. That's basically what I'm doing, but with robots. And they're half naked sometimes. Oh no, and barbarians. Yes, I'm not going to give away the title of the. There's a series coming out, and well, if you like any of this stuff, you're going to love it. So that's all the time I have today. You know why? Because we're going to go play pinball and grab lunch. So thank you for listening to Classic Game Room, the podcast, and check out weekly. We're just getting this rolling. Gonna have like a whole list of these. You'll be able to click on these things with like the 1990s 3D buttons. Remember those? They were like buttons on the screen in 2 dimensions, but they'd make them look all 3-dimensional and put like shading on them. It was very cool. So that when you searched for the website using AltaVista, it would show up. Oh, they got this person is using 3D buttons. That's way better than just text with a line under it. So CGRpublishing.com. Eventually, a few other things will direct there as well. But right now, CGRpublishing.com. It's all very business-like. But you know what? Hidden beneath the business is, in addition to a whole lot of inspiration from the 70s and cigarette. Does this thing smell like cigarette? Oh, God, I love the smell of the 70s comics. Hang on. It's hard to say it smells direct. It doesn't smell exactly like cigarettes. Actually, I don't like smell cigarettes. But what it does smell like is it's been in somebody's basement for like the last, I had to think about this one, 50 years. Oh my God, how old am I? Shit. Well, you know what? That's not going to stop me. I'm going to go play pinball, and hopefully so do you. So, CGRpublishing.com, CGR Fridays will return on Friday. Bringing the 70s to a laser disco near you. Trademark.